Hey, what's good, guys? Welcome to episode 221 of True to Size.
Told you guys, seasoned vet. One take Drake, seasoned vet, off the bench, starter, doesn't matter. Role player, he'll do whatever he needs to do to make it happen. What's going on, everyone, and welcome to True to Size. We are a weekly podcast centered around the wild world of sneakers. I will be your host today. My name is Lawrence Hopkins. I am joined by the rest of the quarantine at Canada Got Soul, Mr. Joel Hernandez.
Hey, yo!
Mr. Alvin Martinez.
Howdy there.
Oh wow! And this will be my first one of the year of the season. We don't do seasons on
first
this
freestyle
podcast,
of the
but
year.
Let's
go. Let's
First
go.
one
Let's
of the
go.
year. Let me clear my throat.
Bars,
He's got more
bars.
jerseys in his rafters than they do at Staples. One of Canada's finest exports. Might as well call him Maple.
Maple.
Just by having him on the pod, our 3-point shooting percentage has increased.
Yes.
You might have seen him on Drake's Instagram, the one and only Sexy Beast.
What?
Ooh.
Kai, thank you for being here, man. Appreciate you.
Bro.
It's been a long time coming.
Bro, thanks for having me, boys. Much appreciated. Yeah, that was pretty sick, Lawrence. I'm gonna need a copy of that, bro.
Got you.
He's got bars,
I'll
bro.
record
Lawrence got
a
bars.
man.
studio
Drizzy-
version
lots of
over
them.
a beat. Yeah.
Drizzy needs to know.
Yeah,
Drizzy
maybe like
needs to know.
reshare that and like
Yeah.
tag or
I
whatever,
might
yeah.
have to now. I might have it. Might
Yeah.
cost you some merch, but
Yeah.
I'll do it up.
I'll do what I got to do to get that record deal, man. I've been trying.
Do what we gotta do.
They're just not calling these days.
You never know, bro. You never know.
Yeah, for anybody listening, we got our boy Kai on the podcast, very affectionately known on Instagram as Sexy Beast. If you're not familiar, just think of, is that Jersey guy who has all the jerseys on Instagram? That's the guy.
Yep.
He's many other things aside from that, but yes, he is that Jersey guy on Instagram who has every single jersey that you can imagine. So we're very excited to get into that with him later. We are back and we are joined by Kai. But before we get into all that with him, we're running through our usual segments that includes another rendition of Over Under, which I've really enjoyed in the last couple of weeks, along with news of another pre-order business going under, which, I mean, it just seems like the trend now that these sneaker pre-order businesses can't stay afloat. Kai then tries his hand at 21 questions before we learn about his sneaker and jersey hobbies, which again, clear your guys' calendar because this could be a good one.
Yeah.
But first, Joel.
Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Fire round.
No. Is
I
the
don't
mic
have
broke?
the- I don't
the
have
mic's
the-
broken.
I'm on Joe's computer,
Oh,
so he's got
man.
no echo. I tried though.
Damn.
That was pretty good, though. That was pretty
Damn.
good.
That's
So
good,
good, bro.
man.
So
Respect.
good.
Joel, we're
Come
trying
on,
to
man.
impress Kai over here, and you're just
I'm
whatever.
trying,
Anyway.
yo. I'm trying.
No, it was good.
He's used to
It was good. Better than I can do. That's
the
for sure.
big budget productions, and we're just coming in with the self-echoing Joel. Yes, the fire round. We like to start every show with a quick hitting question from you, our listeners. And this week's question comes from me because I wanted it to be topical, which is perfect because today, as we record this Tuesday, February 7th, this weekend is the Super Bowl. And then this is like the best week of the year because it goes Super Bowl on Sunday. Boom, next weekend, All-Star weekend. You just got to love it. So I want to know, and this is probably a tough one, what is your favorite All-Star sneaker of all time? There's been a ton, and they've definitely slowed down as of late. I know that actually this year looks like they're trying to bring it back. I think the KD All-Star 3s are coming back. They're doing like a reverse swoosh LeBron 20 for All-Star, which is getting some traction online. But they used to go hard. Like pre-2013, 2014, it was like you would wait for the All-Star sneaker releases from every brand, not even just Nike basketball. Like everyone went hard, and it kind of just fell off.
Yeah.
I will start it off just so you guys can have an extra 30 seconds to think about it. And because my answer is probably glaringly obvious, my favorite forever and always will always be the Galaxy Foamposite 1 that came out in 2012. I mean, it is like when I think all-star sneaker, that's just where my mind goes, is that Galaxy pack. And that is the leader of that pack. So, I mean, it has to be the Galaxy Foams for me. Just one of the best or my favorite shoes in my collection. And easily for me, top 5 sneakers like ever. So easily the best all-star sneaker for me. Alvin, what are you thinking? Your favorite all-star sneaker?
This is tough, man, because I mean, I've tried to think of some that are like, I guess, more recent, but I always go back to that Galaxy, just the pack.
Yeah.
I do have a favorite from the pack, but that whole Galaxy pack, Nike just demolished it.
good,
Like even
man.
like the LeBrons, the Big Bangs, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But my favorite from that pack was the KD4.
Yes.
The silhouette itself, like it's super sleek, and then that strap just helped make it a little bit more. And then just that colorway, they absolutely killed it. I don't know why I ever got rid of that sneaker, but the KD4 is probably my favorite all-star sneaker, the Galaxy one.
So good. I actually have a dead stock pair because they're not my size. And like I picked them up to like complete the pack. I think
yeah, bro.
They might actually be a 10.5 now that I think about it. They're somewhere back there or something. Yeah, I was like, I need to complete the pack, and somebody offered me that pair in that size for retail dead stock, and I was like, obviously I'm gonna take
retail
it.
was so cheap too.
That was like forever
retail?
ago. Yeah, that's back when Nike basketball retail was like reasonable. Yeah, it was probably like 120, maybe 140 because it was premium. But yeah, obviously picked them up. Joel, your favorite all-star sneaker that you can think of all time?
All right, this guy used to break out a fresh pair, a fresh colorway every All-Star game. I'm gonna have to go with the white cement Jordan 3.
Oh yeah.
When he busted those out, and like him and Neek went at it head to head kind of thing at the Chicago. What was it called again? United? Was it the United Center back then? No, was it?
I think so.
Yeah, I think it was.
I think it was. Okay, so one day went head to head there. Come on, man! Like that white and the elephant print, and it's just an iconic. Everyone's got posters in their room.
Yeah.
Of that free throw line, and the way he just kicked his feet out and everything, and that just put the Jordan 3 like out on the map. Like so.
That's a great answer. Yeah, free throw line dunk right there. That is like.
Yeah, man.
That's like the Jordan image for most people is that free throw line dunk where he's floating with the clock in the background. It's like, what time is it? Like 3:00 in the afternoon or something like that. I can't remember.
3:51, no?
Something like that. Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Hey, and we're getting them back this year. And I'm pumped. Those look so good. Ugh.
They do, man.
I'll talk about them every week. Those reimagined white cement threes. They look fantastic. All right, Kai. It's a little harder going last because we took all the really good ones, but I'm sure you've got something very hyper specific that you're about to drop on our head.
Yeah.
Vince came to my mind right away.
Yeah.
And I'm just glad you guys didn't pick any of those. So because I would have been stuck after that. No, but it would have been probably maybe the what Joe said. The cement threes were awesome. But I'm gonna choose the VC3 Shocks LA.
Yep.
Ooh,
the blue and red pair.
The blue and red pair.
The blue and red pair. They were pretty limited. I can't even remember they came out here. I don't think they actually even released here. Because I remember getting them off resale on eBay, I believe, and I actually wore them to the charity game. And I was breaking necks.
Yeah, man.
So, or it could have been the year after, but that's my pick, man. That's probably that. It just came right to my mind.
I thought you were gonna go Tai Chi for a second.
Yeah, I thought I was gonna do that too. Yeah,
I wasn't. Yeah, so to be fair, I wasn't sure if that question meant retail release in terms of white and red because they didn't release in time for us. Remember? And even
I was
you younger cat. Yes. So if you watch the M1 documentary, I think they actually admitted they weren't ready for that. Nobody knew Vince was going to wear the red and white M1s.
Right? I do remember that.
Nobody knew.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they weren't even readily available. Now I could be wrong, so I'm 90% sure. And they didn't have them in Toronto. Let's just be safe here. They didn't have in Toronto. And and that was the first time he wore white and red, actually. I'm pretty sure. That was the first time he rocked those. He never rocked those in game. It was only the slam dunk competition he wore the white and red. So there you go. So I couldn't choose those. Now, they might have released them maybe a year or two after by M1 when they did get extremely popular.
Yeah.
So you could be right there as well. So it's all good.
I would have accepted it. I would not have been the one to correct you and say, well, actually, they didn't release in time.
We would have been okay with that.
Yeah. I would have accepted that answer just so we're clear.
Gotta be specific, right?
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I like it. I like it. I like it. It's a good answer.
Yeah.
Great answer.
But it's right up
Very,
there, guys. No, but truthfully, the red and white is definitely up there.
yeah,
So
they're.
Mhm.
I mean, they're iconic, especially as Toronto sports fans. They're iconic. Alvin's got the white Dino on right now. Iconic sneaker.
Ooh.
If you would like to submit a question for the fire round, have us answer it on the pod, please shoot us a message on Instagram or email us at canada.soul@gmail.com. Next up, the CGS picks. Each week, we all pick an upcoming sneaker to analyze, dissect, and give our thoughts on. Then we decide if it's poop, scoop, whoop-de-whoop, or Alvin's trademarked phrase.
Super cute.
That's right. That raspy Australian man said it best.
Hey.
I know I gave Phil the grace to go first last week, but we're gonna rotate it back here, and I'm gonna go first again because I did not like that one bit. And I'm gonna choose. So this kind of came out of nowhere. I'm kind of surprised that it exists, but I don't hate it. So last year, if everyone will remember, Stussy partnered up with Nike for the 7 trillionth time, and they released a pack of Air Penny 2s. I wasn't super sold on them personally. I mean, the Air Penny 2 is just a rough silhouette for the way that I dress currently. So I wasn't like, and if you don't put the right colorway on it, again, it's just not for me. And then images started to surface of this like brown and black and blue pair. And I was like, these are even worse in my humble opinion. And then when they released the lookbook for the collection, they previewed a full fossil pair. So basically, the equivalent of like the Air Force One low and mid in like the fossil hemp looking colorway that they did. Now on top of an Air Penny 2. And now I'm like, okay, now you have my attention because like these pop. These are great. They're completely tonal, monochromatic, just the like light brown tan. Susie calls it fossil colorway. Looks like they've even got like the textured canvas on them as well. Literally just the branding on the side, the Stussy logo in black is the only contrast that you see, which really pops. And yeah, these look really, really good. Really big fan of like just this look for that silhouette. I think it helps slim it down and make it like feel less busy a little bit. Not sure I'm going to be 100% sold just because of the price point. I think that the other ones were like 180 to 200 USD. You're looking at like 260 Canadian for something like this, and that's not me at all. But I am a big Stussy Nike guy, so if I could find them on sale, like under 200 Canadian, I would start to consider. Under 150 Canadian, I'd probably pull the trigger pretty quickly. But yeah, I really do like these. They came out really well. I'm just trying to get into a place where I can like a sneaker and not buy it. So I'm going to keep trying to practice that process a little bit more heavily in 2023. But yeah, these are super cute. I would say they're a good looking shoe, and I don't think a colorway or materials we've ever really seen on this silhouette. So kudos to Stussy for doing their thing as they normally do. Alvin, what is your pick for us this week?
My pick is the LaMelo Ball Puma MBO2, the Rick and Morty collab.
Rick.
I mean, very, very similar to last year's pair in the sense that like both sneakers are two separate colors. So the Rick pair has purple on it, and then the Morty pair has pink on it. Both are like a very, very bright still, which is dope. So the Morty pair is like a yellow and pink, and then the Rick pair is like a green and pink. And like, I mean, you guys already know, like, if you've been listening to the pod, I love the MBO2 as a ball shoe. And yeah, man, these don't disappoint. I'm not mad at them. I mean, they're still bright, so I don't know if I'd actually wear them on court because the guys that you tend to wear bright shoes on court are usually the good guys. And then I don't want to be that guy that's like, oh, yo, he's got bright shoes on, he must be good. And then it's like, oh, I'm only a warm up guy, man. Like that's it. I'm good at warm ups. In game, I just like to run for my cardio, and that's it. So yeah, these are dope, man. They seem to be regular price because I know the Jades, when they released, they went up $50.
Oh,
from regular
$50.
retail.
Whoa.
Yeah, so
wow.
The
That's
other MBO2s were $150, and then when the Jades came out, they were $200.
Oh.
I feel like these, because they are a collab, might end up still being 200 Canadian. But we'll see. And they're set to release sometime in February. I'm assuming sometime closer to All-Star Weekend. Yeah, man, these are super duper cute. Just because, like, as much as I want to say I'm gonna wear them on the court, I probably won't. Not yet, anyway. Let me work on my warm-up game, and then I'll do it up.
They're dope. That was like the all-star shoe last year. Was the Puma Rick and Morty MB01?
Yeah.
So I mean,
they did well.
I think that might even be why Nike is actually trying for All-Star this year, because they got blown out of the water by Puma and someone's first signature shoe. And now you're seeing them come back this year and they're actually like making signatures in All-Star colors again, which they kind of just like stopped doing. Like players were just wearing whatever. And now there's like an All-Star LeBron 20 coming out. So yeah, maybe that's what it did it. And hey, that would be dope. So yeah, well done, Puma, once again. They look really good. Joel, what is your pick for us this week?
All right, so my pick is not a sneaker. It's the Packer by Clark's Wallaby in their croc pattern. They're known to like like do like reimagine like several silhouettes, like from New Balances to like to Reeboks and stuff like that, and they're known to like go all out and do like crazy like materials and colorways and stuff like that. So now they've teamed up with Clark's. I'm not too sure if this is like their second time with them or maybe it's their first time, but they blew this out of the water with their croc pattern leather. Like the type of material that they use here, it's crazy. It's a crazy croc pattern shoe. It comes in like in two different colors. It comes in a maple, which is sort of like your tan colorway, and like a pink, which is like your salmon colorway. But man, they just pop, and they just kept like the same crepe sole and whatnot. They threw in like extra laces. You get the flat rope wax lace, and they even gave you like a rope lace as well. Croc pattern fobs. That little like a dangly thing, like a hang tag type of thing, if you want to call it. It's in the croc pattern as well. But yeah, they really did this shoe justice, man. But yeah, these drop on the 10th of February, so the day after you're just hearing this pod. Going for $220 US, which is probably like around $300 Canadian. Yeah. But then again, you're gonna be paying for that croc pattern. You know what I mean?
True. No, they do look really good.
Facts.
These look.
Yeah. They don't look like those cheesy kind of croc patterns. You know what I mean? But these look like legit. So
they look very, very good. That salmon color is fire.
I'm saying, man. I'm saying.
Yeah.
These are super cute. Really cute, man. But yeah, man, that's my pick.
We're about to roll up to brunch at Denny's, rocking some croc print.
Some Wally Mox, bro.
Sunday Flex. You don't even know. Kai, with probably the most unique pick we've had in quite some time on the CGS pick.
Do it.
Break it down for us.
Well, on my feed, these red boots keep coming up. Just let me say, I don't plan to wear these if I get them.
Man.
Maybe for Halloween. At a Halloween party, just for jokes, I might do it. I'm not
so you're gonna go for them?
Yeah, I'm not rocking on the regular. As a collector, this is my pick. So it's the MSCHF. I think. Does anybody know what that stands for? Is it Mischief?
Mischief?
Yeah. Miscellaneous Mischief, right? Or something like that?
Something like that,
All right. All good. So they got a pair of big red boots that are going viral right now. And I think they release on the 16th. And it's inspired by the 1952 cartoon Astro Boy. So they're based off of his boots. So yeah, I think they're kind of cool as a collector. I mean, I love Japanese toys, especially vintage. So I resonate with that. There's a connection with me and anime. This might be one of the first animes, if it's considered that in its own form. So very unique, a lot of history to it. I just thought it was a cool concept, man. Like, and if I caught them, they're going in the collectible wall.
They are, they're going super viral. Like I cannot scroll my feed for 30 seconds without seeing a different person wearing them right now. The marketing has been great. And honestly, like, we kind of like go back and forth on this podcast about how we feel about Mischief. I think like he's done some questionable shit, like the Satan shoe and like the Jesus shoe, where it's kind of like, I don't know about that one. But then he does something like this, and honestly, like, they're cool. Like, I think they're really freaking cool. They're really well done. Kind of shocked that he's the first to do it, like something like that, like a cartoon sneaker, because like it's kind of like the thing for all these cartoon, like Mickey Mouse and Donald, like all these people have like really funky big shoes. And honestly, like, as much as it's weird to say, they don't look as awful as it would sound like they would look just by saying, oh, someone's going to walk around in Astro Boy boots. Like, you'd be like, okay, that sounds really dumb. But it looks like he did a semi-decent job making them look okay. Like, I've seen people wearing them with like sweats, and I'm like, it's ridiculous. Like, you don't wear that to go, again, to Denny's on a Sunday. But if you're going to some like crazy party or fashion week, like, I could easily see somebody pulling these off and it looking like not the worst. Like, I'm not going to say really good, but not the worst. And like I said, like, for Halloween, like, these are, bro, you're going to be the person at the party if you pull up to Halloween in these. Like, that's,
they might be cheaper than Air Mags, right?
So, oh, way cheaper. Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
I have a feeling these will go up.
Oh, 100%.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
The spidey senses are tingling, man.
Yeah, 100%. I think retail is not the worst either. I think it was like $250 to $350 USD, if I remember, something like that.
That's not bad.
Yeah, all things considered, custom mold, big ass piece of whatever in a big custom box. Like, that's, we see Nike shoes going for that much, and they're not anywhere near this. So
they're gonna go quick. I think they're gonna go quick.
Yeah, I would assume so as well. But yeah, that's a good pick. I'm very interested to see like how that transpires, because maybe we'll see it start a new wave of cartoon sneakers.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hope it starts that wave of cartoon sneakers, because I really want the Air Assassins from The Simpsons.
Oh yeah,
I would love for those
if
to drop.
like the actuals, like it looks so. I'm looking at the picture right now of the Air Assassins, and it looks so good. So if they actually made that an actual sneaker that someone could wear, I mean, it's going to be crazy.
Yeah,
I was going to say there's also that big boot trend coming right now. Right? Like is it Balenciaga that did the last few?
Kanye,
yeah, and Kanye was rocking them. So I'm kind of seeing that trend a little bit. So I don't know if this is related to that in a way.
I've seen people wearing them in a similar way to the whatever that Kanye boot was called, the big like foam runner boot thing that he made. People are wearing these in a similar way. So feels very weird to say, but they're not bad. The Astro Boy.
Lawrence is gonna pull up in those in 2 weeks.
Yeah. I'm telling everyone not to wear it to Sunday brunch because I want to wear them to Sunday
brunch.
That's it.
But you gotta go all out Astro Boy. You know, you gotta
100%.
wear
like shorts.
The black. Yeah.
You gotta dye your hair, slick it up.
All or nothing. You know. That's how I always roll up to Denny's. I don't know about you guys.
Nice.
Yeah. If you guys can't tell, this episode is sponsored by Denny's. Thanks a lot.
I was gonna say.
Yeah. Moving on to This Week in Kicks. This is the part of the show where we discuss the current headlines and happenings in the world of sneakers. And we love a couple things on this podcast. One is lawsuits against anybody because they're so exciting to talk about. And two is shitty people getting what's coming to them. And this is the second of that. So another pre-order, I'm going to keep saying pre-order service in air quotes, but you can't see that if you're listening. So I'm just imagine that I'm doing it. Another sneaker pre-order service has gone under. So this is after the big news that happened late last year of the infamous sneaker pre-order douchebag Zeta Kicks. After he went out of business completely, another one has gone under in a couple months later. This one, I'd never even heard of it. I'm not going to lie. It's called Schmitty Kicks. What an awful name. Like, anyways, I don't even know where to start with that. Schmitty Kicks has filed for bankruptcy, owing banks and customers more than $18 million.
Wow.
Which is pennies compared to the Zeta Kicks thing, but still a lot of freaking money. So according to paperwork, this is the wildest thing. According to paperwork, the online sneaker seller owes creditors $18,473,066 while having assets of just $800. What? How do you owe $18 million and your assets total 800? That's like a label printer. Like all you had was some cardboard boxes and a label printer. Like, what were you? Did you ever even fulfill one single pre-order? I don't understand how you have $800 and owe 18 million. That just blows my mind. I don't know what else to say. That means that a lot of people trusted this random dude with a lot of money. But anyway, so again, 661 parties are listed as creditors, and that ranges from debts as small as $212, so probably a one-off pre-order, to nearly $6 million to the payment processor Stripe. I'm familiar with Stripe. I don't know how you even owe Stripe $6 million, but whatever. In the filing, Schmitty Kicks president Brett Schmidt, I guess that's where the name came from, declares that the potential assets in failed business also includes money owed from Zeta Kicks. So the only more fucked up thing about this is that this Schmitty Kicks dude was taking pre-orders from other people because he was pre-ordering from Zeta Kicks. Like, what is happening right now? I don't. It's like an inception of
pyramid,
fuckery.
Bro.
Yeah.
Like
that's what it is.
It's like a Ponzi scheme within a Ponzi scheme. It's insane. So we've said this a bunch on this podcast before. But first of all, these pre-order things are usually, I've never trusted one, and I will continue to not trust them, whether they have gone out of business yet or not. The whole Zeta Kicks thing was always sus from the beginning, so I never even tried. The Schmitty Kicks guy is another example. So please buy from the most reputable places that you can. Paying resale 8 months in advance of this sneaker to get it in 8 months is giving someone a free loan for 8 months, which makes 0 sense. Just don't do it. It just, I can't express it enough. Just avoid
a good
it.
analogy.
At all costs, just completely avoid it. You're getting nothing out of it, and they're getting everything out of it, and they can just send you your money back in 8 months. And what did you get? 0. Anyways, moving on from Schmitty.
That was
Schmitty.
Out with Schmitty, out with Zeta, out with all of them. To previously in Kicks, this is the part of the show where we review our latest pickups and recap latest happenings in our sneaker lives, or otherwise. Alvin, anything in the last? I know we just recorded on Thursday, so it's only been like 5 days. Actually, I saw you post on Instagram, so you have at least one thing, or a very cool thing, that came in the last couple days.
What thing? Now I gotta check my Instagram.
Posted a reel about it, and it's
the my bad. No, you know why? I had those since like before Christmas, and it's like I've only recently posted that because like that's when I had the time to actually make content. But I don't recall ever mentioning those. But I got the Creamsicle Air Jordan 1 Gatorade Customs back from the homies over at Revive GTA, and I want to wear them like now, but like I also don't want to wear them now because there's too much salt.
It's like a summer shoe.
So I'm waiting for like possibly an event, or maybe we'll throw something together and just have a meetup or something. But definitely a summer shoe. It's super happy with those, man. They turn out so good.
Those look really good. They look fantastic. They did a really good job. It's a really good consolation prize too for like a Shatter Backboard 2.0, which is something that I really want. It looks very similar, and the quality on the Gatorade pack was so good.
Yeah, that leather is stupid.
Yeah. It has no business being that good on the Gatorade ones. It's really, really good. Joel, anything for you in the last 4.5 days?
No, nada. Nothing for me.
Joel. In the interest of content, I did win a raffle. Was that today? Yesterday. Yesterday. On the Tom Sachs website for the
nice
bro. The Poo Poo Brown GPS that just came out. I don't personally really want them, but I won the OG pair a couple months ago, and then I won this pair. And it's one of those services where you enter, and then if you win, they send you an invoice. So in the interest of not having my account banned or something, I just was like, yeah, whatever. I'm sure someone will take it from me for retail. So I just picked them up. Yeah, I'm waiting. I'm trying to like boost my account on the Nike Craft website so that when something really good comes out, they like, oh yeah, he's a loyal customer. Let's give it to him.
Oh,
Yeah.
true,
You
true,
know,
true.
There
Nice.
you go.
playing the game. So yeah,
Mhm.
Yeah.
we'll see when those come in. I did see them in person already, and they are a lot better in person than in pictures because that brown in pictures does not come off very well.
Okay.
In person they are a little bit better, but I'm just not a huge fan of the silhouette overall, so I will not be keeping them undoubtedly.
Mhm.
Kai, anything? It doesn't have to be in the last week. Doesn't have to be sneakers. Anything in the last month or so for you notable,
Yeah, I
sneakers or
did.
otherwise?
I was lucky enough to pick up a Keon Clark authentic jersey from
Oh,
Holy
snap.
so
Keon
I
Clark.
well, thanks guys. Wow, I didn't know there were you know what? I didn't know he had that many fans, to be honest. I actually posted a story on my
Yeah.
IG, just a little flashback of a few photos of him, and then a story of the back of the jersey. And so it's the home white. It's a size 44, autographed, brand new with tags.
Wow,
Jeez.
So
Wow.
yeah, and that would have been from 2001. So it's over 20.
damn.
It's over 20 years old
With the
Yeah, that's
tags, that's
crazy.
with
crazy.
the tags. This guy still had it, and it was autoed, which was pretty cool. You don't see a lot of those. And
Yeah.
in fact, it's probably the first one I've seen that was
Mhm.
autographed. I've only ever seen one dude wear it during the parade, and
Mm.
he actually wore the away one. So respect to him. He had a little baby too with him, and so it was
Oh,
a nice little
nice.
family. So
Yeah.
and, so out of respect, I didn't actually bother him. I was going to say, "Hey, you want to sell that?" I was going to take it off
Yeah.
him.
At the parade.
Y'all know how I roll.
Yeah.
I'm hunting every day,
Yep.
right? So I saw that,
Yeah.
and I was like, you know what? I'm going to respect the baby. I won't respect
Yeah.
him, but I'll respect
There
the
was no
baby.
child there.
True.
If there was
Bidding
no child
war.
there, I'd be all in. I'd be like, yo, how
Yeah.
much? So
Yeah.
anyway, so I picked that up for a pretty good price, below retail
Mm.
back then. So that was a really good cop. And I also picked up one of these, something I wanted to share with you guys. So if you can see my background, I know your listeners can't see it, so I
Yeah.
apologize for that. But in the
Screw
background,
them.
you know, I didn't know you were so nice, Lawrence. I like that. So in the back are my M1 white and purple Tai Chis, Vince Carter PEs, right?
Yep.
And
Mhm.
I've already
Mhm.
posted those, so they're on my IG. But who would have thought that there'd be a second pair?
No,
What?
stop.
Sign
No,
two.
That's nuts.
Oh my
That's wild,
god.
right?
that's
So I just wanted to share it with you,
crazy.
homies. Just
That's
appreciate you guys
crazy.
having me on. And every time that happens, I like to bring something that I haven't shared with everybody else yet.
What the
Yeah.
So
fuck?
Wow.
only a few
Holy
people
I'm
shit.
have
mind
seen this.
blown, bro.
I
So
know, seriously.
right. So it is a pair. So I picked up another pair just for the listeners that are listening. I picked up a second identical pair of N1 Tai Chi mids, Vince Carter player exclusives, purple suede, butter. Um,
She.
this second pair is not worn though, but it's
Mhm.
still good. My other pair is practice worn, I believe.
Damn.
I haven't matched it yet.
Wow.
So yeah, no, I'll just what are the chances, right? But at the same time, that
Yeah.
tells me like there's other pairs out there. I know another collector.
Mhm.
He's got two pairs, and they're game worn. So I know he has
Damn.
those.
Ooh.
Jeez.
But I would think this would be it. I didn't even think there'd be a fourth pair out there, you know.
Mhm.
So it's pretty rare that way. And
Amazing.
thank you. And the
Yeah.
story is that these belong to a gentleman. Actually, there's a story to it. So the guy got it originally. I had to do a pickup for another friend so he had the seller had a Vince Carter Pro Cut, maybe game worn 2000 dry fit jersey. So I went to pick that up for my friend,
Uh-huh.
and as I was talking to him, I said, "Hey, what else you got?"
Yeah.
And that's hunting 101,
I
right?
was gonna say,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
is that your usual go-to?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whether it was sneakers or anything else, it's like, well, what else do you have? And
Mhm.
he's like, "Oh, I got a pair of Vince Carter autograph shoes." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, show me a picture." And
Yeah.
he really wasn't an expert.
Yeah.
So I asked him to show me a pic. Fast forward, I'm like, I gotta have those. We negotiated. It was a very, very fair price. The history behind his find was that he actually was the lighting guy at Air Canada Center
Wow.
That's really
back
cool.
in 2001. So the team, I guess management basically gifted him for a job that he had to do on short notice. And they gifted him the jersey, the shoes.
Wow.
Holy smokes.
Right. And there was a ball that I couldn't get off him. But anyways, it was a nice ball. It was just
Not
an
yet.
autographed
Not
ball.
yet.
Not yet.
That's true. I have his number. So yeah, no, and then so he had these, and I just had to scoop it off him, and now I have 2 pairs of those. So one of my favorite
nuts.
colorways, right?
Yeah.
And I've always
Crazy.
said, what if he wore these, right? What if he wore these with the uniform?
The white and purple.
Yeah, dude.
Instead of the white
oh
and
my
red,
gosh.
right? So
Yeah.
they're just,
Oh man.
You're just so sick. And there's a 15 on the back.
That's so nuts.
Those go so hard. Oh my gosh.
I don't think they ever even released like any iteration of the white and purple, did they? Like not even the non-PE with the 15 on the back. They never even dropped like a GR version at all, right?
I don't think so.
Not the
I don't
white
think
and
so.
purple,
Yeah.
to my knowledge. They might have done. They did an LA Laker colorway at some point. But yeah, so those were my 2 major pickups.
Yeah. Well,
those are pretty major.
Yeah.
So.
That's major.
Way to make us look like shit.
I know.
I'm just glad you guys appreciate, man. That means a lot to me, right? When you guys appreciate it like that, just seeing your expressions. That's why I do what I do, right?
That's
crazy.
Whenever you're having your next family get together at your house, let me know, and I'll bring some Tim Hortons donuts, and I'll be there.
And some Denny's and some
Denny's.
Denny's.
I will absolutely bring a delicious Grand Slam to your
Grand
house.
Slam
Hashtag
it,
ad.
yeah.
Oh, I got. Thanks, guys. I got one more though.
Please.
The TJ Ford Italy jersey.
Yes, that's right.
I saw that. Yeah,
that's right.
I saw that.
One of my grails. So that belonged to another IG, a collector on IG, originally from New York, and he obtained it from a guy who was working the Italian game or Euro Live in back in 2009, I believe. I could be wrong with the year. I'm off by a year, 2009, 2010. Anyway, so that's that's where it originated from. And he hit me up. Like, I've been begging him for this jersey for the last 4 years. I stopped finally because, I don't like to, I'll ask you once, I'll ask you twice max. And then I leave it at that because I know how it is. There's people always asking me for my stuff.
Yeah.
Right. So I want to be respectful, and I was always respectful. And I just had to say, hey, if you ever want to sell it, it's going to a good home. And sure enough, he hit me up 2 months ago or last month. And he was like, hey, you know what? I'm moving, blah, 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 blah. And he was like, would you still be interested? And I'm like, hell yeah. Right. And so let's do it. And, so that arrived home safely from Europe. And it's a special jersey. I didn't know they actually wore it 3 games. Whereas Spain, so they had a Spanish one and they had an Italian one that year. And it was only worn in preseason, or so I thought. But the Italian game was worn for 2 games. And then they wore it once for Italian Day.
Okay.
Yeah, I think it was either, I get the dates wrong sometimes, but it's either November 28th or October 28th. I gotta look at my files.
Yeah,
so I know it's a great jersey, and it's wearable because TJ Ford's, he's kind of like
he's a smaller dude.
He's a smaller dude, 6'2", maybe.
Yeah.
Right? True. So anyway, so that wasn't my other grail pickup.
That's amazing.
You need the Spanish one now.
I have the Spanish one.
Oh, you have the Spanish one. My bad. Shit. Obviously.
That's okay. Oh, good, Lawrence. I actually have a Jamario Moon.
Jamario.
Oh, Jamario, bro.
Super Mario. So I have his game. He didn't wear it, but it was issued to him.
Yeah.
The TJ Ford is worn. It's got some marks on it and everything. I just haven't matched it yet to which game. So.
Goddamn.
Yeah, lucky enough to have both.
Dang.
My bad for even thinking you wouldn't have both.
Well, I don't have them all, Lawrence, to be fair, right? I don't have them all. Right. And I think you said it out of saying, hey, you know what? That's a great combo to have.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right. So I know where that's coming from. It's from a good place.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I also will now going forward assume you have them all. Just so we're
There's a few pieces. There's a few pieces
We'll
that
get
I'm
to the
missing,
stuff
guys.
that you need because the stuff you're listing that you have is crazy enough. I need to know the stuff you need, but we'll get to that because that'll be another crazy conversation, I'm sure.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, moving on to our newest segment and one of my new favorite segments, Over Under. In this segment, Las Vegas gives us a gambling line and we need to decide if we are personally over or under. This one is an interesting one. This one's a percentage question, so get your calculators out. Number of collabs in your collection. Over under 38.5% of your total collection.
38.
Damn,
30
bro.
is 38.5% of your collection collaborative sneakers. Over or under that number. This is it, when you think about it, I feel like it sounds high, but when you really think about it, it's like, you know what, maybe. So I'll let Joel go first. What are you thinking, Joel? Are you over or under 30.5%?
Okay, hold on. Let me do some calculations here.
No
Calculations.
researching, no calculating. What are you doing? Like a sample size through your IG first?
He might be right on. He might be right on that number.
I don't know. I'm probably gonna be. I'm gonna say under.
Under, huh?
Under.
Even like Teddy Santis and like all that stuff.
Still under. I have a whole bunch of GRs.
That's true.
So
I figured Joel might be the one of the few unders here. I figured because he has a lot of stuff. Joel has a lot of shoes. That's
I'm surprised, Joe.
Yeah, I'm a little bit shocked too. Not gonna lie. Alvin, are you over or under 38.5%?
I think I'm on the dot.
You're on the dot. It can't be a 0.5%. That's why I give you the half. You got to pick.
Yeah, no, I'm on the dot, bro.
You're over by what?
38.5%.
You are exactly 38.5%.
Yes.
39.
You're saying it was a good line.
Yeah.
It was a perfect line, actually.
Alvin just
I don't know. I did the quick calculations in my head, and I honestly I thought I had less, but because I've been like just selling off a bunch of stuff, and then I was like, oh, I have a bunch of Air Max GRs, and then I started thinking about what I had in the actual closet. I was like, no, I don't.
Yep.
So you mean just my Air Max ones alone? Like I feel like 100% of my Air Max ones are not GR. So that's why I think I'm on the line. On the line.
That's what I mean. It sounds like it's high, like to almost half your collection to be collabs. But if it's like there's so many different kinds of collabs, like store collabs, entertainer or like artist collabs, and then there's like brand collabs and all these different things. I think that like I feel like I'm over, but it's like if the line is 38.5%, I feel like I'm at like 40%. Maybe like 42%. Like I'm
42.
Like,
I was gonna say 42.
42. Yeah. Like it's like it's super tight. It's really tough. I think that the line was actually going to be lower and it got raised a little bit because of the man coming up. But Kai, what are you thinking? Over under in your collection of sneakers, 38.5%. Are they collabs?
You know, I think now it's got to be under, right?
Really?
Yeah. I mean, I've traded in quite a bit, quite a haul, right? And I transformed that into this Raptors collection now. So that's what had happened, right? So you know, if we went back just maybe a few years, even it would definitely be over.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't even know if I have. I maybe have what 50 pairs left.
Wow. You had 50 pairs of Supreme Blazers. That's
I think you have them now.
I actually might. Yeah.
Right. Well, we'll ask Tong about that one.
That's where I got them from. So
he's got them from Tong.
Hey, Lawrence, game worn by the Beast.
Oh, there you go. Actually, they're dead stock. So
I had two. No, I'm only kidding.
Game owned. Yeah, it was what we call it, a blood jersey. That's what I got. I got
a blood set. You got the blood set.
I got the blood set. Yeah.
There you go. And that world is even better.
There you go. I got the blood set from the Beast himself. I like that.
The Beast.
And they're red too. It's perfect. Sick. Got the blood set. Tight line. We're split down the middle, so I like that. Moving on, not sneaker related. We talk about sneakers a lot, so in this weekly segment, we're going to take 30 seconds out of the show to discuss something completely irrelevant from the world of sneakers. I saw this one on Instagram, and like at first I thought the answer was obvious. And then afterwards, I was like, it's not obvious. And I want to know, would you rather find in your attic 1,000 cockroaches
Oh,
or
Ew.
one human
What the?
alive?
bruh.
Like, there's
Alive.
like obviously no right answer here.
Yeah.
Both of these, yes, are living. You didn't know either of them were there. Would you rather find
Wow.
1,000 cockroaches or one human? I hate this
Wow.
question.
What the hell?
I'll go first to give
Yeah.
you guys a second to think and collect
What?
yourselves because it's terrifying to think about. This
Bro.
might sound insane. I'm going with the one human because I feel like it's easier to get rid of one dude and be like, go away. And like, if you say go away to 1,000 cockroaches, they're not going to go away. That's not how it works, right? So I feel like one human, if I'm like prepared, which I may or may not be prepared to find one human. I don't know if everyone's ever prepared to find a person in their attic.
No.
But if I'm
No.
like, I feel like I know in my mind what to do if I find a person in my attic. Like, go find the nearest weapon and make them leave. If I find 1,000 cockroaches, I'm probably just like, all right, I'm moving. Done for
Yeah.
me. No, not living here anymore. So I'm probably gonna go with the human, but if you ask me tomorrow, that might change because that's, yeah, I don't know. That's a little bit scary to think about a person living in my attic. So, Joel, what are you going with? A human in your attic or 1,000 cockroaches?
All right, put it this way. If there's 1,000 cockroaches, that means there's like a million other cockroaches you can't find because those things can
Oh.
multiply fast.
Yep.
Yeah. That's
You know what I
facts.
mean? And they can squeeze through like the width of a dime
Everything.
kind of thing.
Yeah.
They can go through anything. So I'd rather have a human there that, you know, I can make into like a punching bag kind of thing and, you know, toss them out the window kind of thing. So I'd rather have a human there than 1,000 plus cockroaches.
Yep, that's very fair. It's super fair. The only argument I could see for wanting, actually, let's go through it first. Alvin, which are you choosing, the cockroaches or the person?
Oh man. You know what? Because I get really protective of my family, and I know that if I find someone in my attic, automatically in my head it's like danger.
Yes.
And once
Like,
that
how long has that
switch
person been
flips,
there?
yeah,
that
and once
too.
that switch flips, I get superhuman strength,
Mhm.
and I can definitely get rid of them. Whereas,
Yeah.
like, you know, I'm not a big fan of any kind of insect.
Yeah.
And if I see 1,000 cockroaches, bro, I'm leaving my kids here and running out the house.
Yeah, facts so. Yeah.
No, I'm just joking.
Sorry, girls.
No, I'm just joking. I'll probably carry them with me, but like, yeah, we're leaving the house. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But yeah, definitely. I mean, the worst of the two, or the lesser of both evils for me is the human.
Which is crazy to say. Giving credit to cockroaches, honestly, like they deserve credit
Oh,
right
for
now.
sure.
For winning this. Kai, which one are you going with here?
Yeah, I wanted to ask, what kind of podcast am I on? No,
We
I'm
ask
just
ourselves
having
that
Into the
every week.
horror podcast.
We ask ourselves that every week.
I thought we were going to talk about jerseys, but no. Okay. So, does this human have a game jersey on? No. No, that was bad. That was a bad joke. That was my first question, eh? What kind of shoes and what kind of game jersey wearing?
What else you got?
Okay. Well, I like that, Lawrence. So, I do have a few questions, though. How big are the cockroaches?
Standard.
Oh, true.
Like I don't know.
Because there's those big mofos.
Like
Are they American?
We'll say
or
like
like
a 2
Canadian?
Or like
Big
the
ones,
small
like a 2-inch, not the baby ones, like the good ones, like the inch and a
Okay,
half
yeah, that's
cockroaches.
fair.
Yeah.
So, kind of just piggybacking off Alvin, there's that danger fact. So if it's a good human, I'll pick the human. And I know that wasn't in the scenario. So my first instinct is I probably would pick the cockroaches because, yeah, another human being there, why are you there? And
Yeah.
like, you got to give me more in that scenario. But my first, I'd rather have cockroaches. There's a helping side within all of us that says, hey, maybe we want to help the human.
Fair.
That's why I had said, is it a good human or a bad, or an evil human, right?
Yeah.
Obviously.
Yeah.
Truth.
And I know that wasn't in the scenario, and that's what makes this actually a great question, right? You see, this can really tell a lot about a person, Lawrence.
It's true.
right?
It's very true. See, when you invite me over for that dinner, and I bring Denny's, and I start talking about to the guests, which would you rather have in your appetite?
That's a good first date
Yeah.
question, Lawrence.
It
There
is.
you go.
You're right. It
What do you think
really
about
is.
that? Imagine
It's-
that,
yeah.
asking that on your first date.
Just
It's icebreaker.
anybody first time meeting somebody new at work, like, hey, nice to meet you. Would you rather have again?
Yeah, that's
It's like the personality test, but it's just like even
that'd
better.
be great. Just to
Oh, true,
record their
true.
expression right after you
Yeah.
ask that.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's my answer, man. I'm gonna take the cockroaches.
I respect that, and
True.
I'm super back and forth because the thing with the cockroaches is you can get someone else to deal with that. The human you probably got to deal with
Exterminate it.
immediately yourself, which is like the scary part, right? Like you gotta like if you see a human, you're not gonna be like stay there. I'm calling the police. Like you got to deal with that on site. If it's the cockroaches, you can like call exterminator, be like, yo, can you be here in an hour and deal with this kind of thing. So that I could, I'm back and forth, but yeah, good question. Good question, Instagram.
Absolutely.
Moving on to our main reason that we're here, obviously, Kai. Again, we're not about cockroaches and humans and addicts on this podcast. We do talk about some more serious things sometimes.
That was a pretty serious question.
It is. I took it seriously. we all took it very seriously.
Yeah.
So we're gonna start with our first segment, which is 21 questions. And then we're gonna move into an actual interview here with Kai. Kai just lost his feed. There he is.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on my camera feed.
That's all good. That's why we don't do camera. That's why no one else can see those N1s, the VCs. Sucks for them. But yeah, we're gonna start here with 21 questions. Basically just very simple, quick hitting questions for you, Kai. First answer that comes to your head. Don't think about it too much. The less you think, the funnier it's going to be. Are you ready?
No.
Correct.
I hope they're not. I hope they're not geography questions or history questions. But I'm ready, man. So,
question number 1.
I got my cheat sheet in front of me. So
you need more than a cheat sheet. Question number 1: air or boost?
Boost.
Boost. Wow, that's kind of shocking, actually. Question number 2: crew socks or no shows?
Crew socks.
Question number 3: Dunks or Jordan 1s?
Jordan 1s.
Question number 4: pineapple on pizza?
Nah.
Tough answer. Question number 5.
I was just in Italy too, so there you go.
True.
Getting your jersey, right? Yeah.
Getting the jersey, yeah.
That too.
Question number 5: drop front boxes or original boxes for your sneakers?
Original boxes.
Question number 6: laces tied tight in a bow or hanging and loose?
Bow.
Question number 7: what's a color that belongs on every sneaker?
Probably white.
Good answer. Question number 8: elephant print or cement print?
Elephant.
Question number 9: what was your last sneaker purchase?
Lost and Found, Chicago's one.
Ooh.
Great purchase. Question number 10: what was your last jersey purchase?
The TJ Ford and the Keon Clark.
There you go. Ooh. Question number 11: purple Dino jersey or white Dino jersey?
Ooh, excellent question. White Dino.
Dino.
White's always been my favorite. White's always been my favorite. Yep.
Question number 12: window seat or aisle seat on an airplane?
Window seat.
Same. Question number 13: most comfortable sneaker you own?
Comfortable. I gotta give it to the Boost, man.
That's where the answer came from earlier. That makes a lot of sense.
That's why. If we're going looks, it's a different answer.
Yeah, 100%. I can agree with that. Question number 14: what is the capital city of the Northwest Territories?
Ooh, Yellowknife.
That is correct. Yes.
All
wow,
right.
you do have the cheat sheet there. Holy smokes.
I do.
He does.
Yeah.
He does do it all.
He does.
Question number 15: favorite NBA jersey manufacturer? Nike, Adidas, Reebok, Champion. Which one?
Oh, that's a tough one. It's Nike or Champion. I'm gonna have to give it to Champion.
Champion. I like that. Yeah. Would you be down for, this is not a question, would you be down for Champion to come back and do the jerseys, or do you think it should stay with Nike now?
It's tough. I think they deserve a shot at it in terms of modern technology. They may have a tough time that way, but I don't want to underestimate Champion as well.
Yeah.
So let's see what they got. Yeah,
That's
I welcome it.
Super fair. Question number 16. Who's the greatest Raptor of all time? Just easy questions.
That's not an easy question.
No.
And it's not skilled,
all
right?
time.
So that's
Just whatever you want to. You it can be your own qualifications. Whatever you
Yeah.
think qualifies
Your
somebody as the GOAT.
interpretation.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not getting asked this question.
we stumped him.
that's always a tough question. So you know what? I'm
It's
gonna
tough.
go. I'm gonna have to go with Lowry. It's either Lowry or Vince.
Yep.
If Kawhi had stayed,
Yep.
Hmm.
who knows what happens,
Facts.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
It probably would have been Kawhi, but
Yeah.
we
Yeah.
can't go there, right? So
Yep.
and he
Can't.
doesn't deserve that. Just for 1 year, he doesn't deserve that.
Agreed.
But he's definitely the greatest skilled player, right? So
Yep. I think that's fair to say as well. Question number 17. Who's winning the NBA championship this year?
another tough question. Depends on what happens after the trade deadline, but
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's facts. Yeah.
right, guys.
Mm-hmm.
Man,
That's tough.
it's really tough. It's really tough. I don't even.
He's
That's a
stressed.
stumper.
He's sweating.
I'm stressed, man. I'm dripping
Yeah.
sweat, man. Just like
Yeah,
that
I'm
meme. That dude in that
sweating.
meme, I'm
The meme?
sweating.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right?
Correct answer is obviously the Raptors. I think we all know that.
If they make the play in, maybe.
If
Yeah.
they make the play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. You know what? Maybe for a lack of a better answer, I might just go with my hometown. Just go
There we
Toronto
go.
Raptors.
We love the optimism. What
That's
about
it.
this then? We'll pretend that's not a serious answer, even though they're obviously winning. Which conference are they going to be? East or West? The winner?
I like to say I'm going to go West.
Yeah, I think that's usually a fair assumption
Yeah.
based on past years. Question number 18. Is a hot dog a sandwich?
Is a hot dog a sandwich? No.
Correct. Question number 19. Do you own more sneakers or more jerseys?
I own more jerseys now.
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 The key word is now. What is your number one sneaker grail? Question number 20.
It changes all the time, but I've always wanted the original Kentucky ones.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Super niche pick. Yeah.
Yeah.
Nostalgia wise, just when I was skating, I've always wanted that, and I was never able to get that pair. So that's why that one's up there.
Great choice.
For wearing purposes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. If you ask me about which game worn pair, that'd be Jordan's. Probably Jordan's
Just
pair.
Any Jordan pair?
No, probably Jordan ones again.
A game worn Jordan 1.
Wow.
Yeah, it doesn't get much better than that. Yeah.
Maybe the slam dunk competition too. The 3. There's so many, right?
Yeah.
We could go on all day about that one. Kawhi's final shot. I'd like to have those.
Imagine
shoes.
that one.
Ooh.
Yeah.
The Omni ones.
Do you know who has those?
Yeah, I forget his name.
Oh, there is. No, I'm asking you. I don't
do know who
I'm
has
asking you.
You said it like you knew him, man.
No, my buddy Jeff has him. Yeah.
No, he's I don't know his name, but he owns. I think he's related to the one of the owners for the airline that Kawhi had collaborated with. He's on social media, and he basically. He actually posted it on his feed, and I saw it, and it was autographed, and it says the shot, autographed by Kawhi, and it was that pair.
That's mad cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
If only. Question number 21. What is your number one jersey grail?
Ooh.
It's a question.
That's a tough one too, man. You know what? So I have 2. So it would be Kawhi's final shot, not final shot, but Kawhi's
shot.
The shot. Game 7, right?
Do you know who has that one?
No.
Ooh.
Drake might have that one, but I'm not sure. He might. He's got a finals. Kawhi, but he's got a lot of stuff. So, and the other one would be Vince's slam dunk competition, Toronto Raptors jersey that he won the contest in.
Yep.
Yeah.
Those are the 2 that come to my mind. How about you guys? I'd like to know what your thought. What would be your answer for that? I hate to interrupt you, Lawrence, but
no worries at all. I love the bounce back. That's a really good question. I'm trying to think of something that's more unique. Because again, I think the obvious ones would be like Jordan 88 free throw, like yeah, like you said, like Kawhi the shot. I think it'd be really cool. What about like Kawhi's first game, like first gamer in Toronto? That would be a really cool one. Like literally the start of it. Oh, who has it? You?
No, one of my. I wish. I actually I missed that auction. So they auctioned that off, and one of my friends has that exact same jersey where he does the laugh.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yes,
photo mash and everything. Like like we're not in competition, but I'm always like, how do I even compete with that, bro?
Yeah,
that's a really good one.
That shit's crazy, right?
Yeah.
Like,
that's
and he actually, and you may not know this, he actually wore it. So he wore it for the media day, and he does that whole joke, right? And he does the laugh, but he also wears it in a preseason game.
Oh,
so it's actually game worn, but it's a preseason, so it's actually not worn in game, but it's iconic for the laugh, right?
Absolutely,
facts.
That's
pretty
mad
sick.
Cool.
Pretty sick.
Yeah, what about you guys, cool. Joel? What would be your jersey grail?
Oh man, I don't know. There's like so many. I don't know. Maybe I'm gonna probably say like a Ewing jersey, but like a Ewing jersey where Jordan had like took it baseline and like took it down, and he pointed at him when he fell down.
You want the Ewing jersey?
I want that Ewing jersey that he wore.
Yeah, I think it was Pippen, right?
Was it Pippen? Pippen took him down too. Yeah.
Also, maybe there was two different ones, right? Maybe.
Who did he dunk on that? Yeah, where he took it baseline.
Like I'm pretty sure it was Pippen. Then he pointed at him on the floor.
Yeah.
Right.
Pippen dunked on Ewing. Yeah. But there's that one where Jordan took it baseline around Starks, and then he went up, and then I think it was Ewing and Oakley went up and tried to block him, and he jammed on him, and they fell on the ground. Yeah. And then it was like just shouting. I'm like, yeah. Like, I don't know if it was Ewing, but whoever's jersey that is, I want it.
You want the person who was posterized, not the posterizing.
That's it. That's it. I like that choice. I like that.
That's a great choice.
That jersey.
I like that.
Alvin, how about
you? So there's a few. I need a Ray Allen Bucks jersey.
Oh yeah,
the deer.
Not necessarily. I just Ray Allen's my guy. Like I've always been a fan of him. I need a Nash Suns jersey. And just to go along with the homie Kai, I need a Mo Pete game worn jersey when he hit that 3-pointer against the Wizards.
Oh yeah.
When he got tossed in the
when they he tossed it because they thought he won.
Yeah.
Mo Pete caught it and he shot the ball. I'm like,
wild.
That's us. That's Mo Pete, bro.
Wild.
That's it.
Yeah, no, he's a nice guy. I've met him once. He's a nice guy. So, I like that. Mo Pete's sick. Yeah, he's on the list for me too. So,
yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear this list very shortly. Let's start with the sneakers first. What kind of got you started into sneakers? I know you kind of alluded to skating. I don't know if that's what started it for you, but what kind of got you started into sneakers in the first place?
Are we done with 21 questions?
Yes, we are done with 21 questions.
Okay. All right, good. Yeah. Thank God there was only one geographical question.
Yeah, no, you escaped pretty much
and
unscathed.
You killed it.
And you got it right. Yeah.
Dude, I studied like all night for it, man.
Yeah, he was like filling in maps with pencil crowns. Yeah.
100%. 100%. In French, too. In French, too, bro.
In French.
Multilingual geography.
I don't even know how to say yellow knife in French, but anyway. Jean?
Jean knife.
Jean, okay.
Jean knife.
It'd be opposite. Knife jaune, actually.
Knife jaune.
All right.
Clearly we all speak fluent.
So my bad. Yeah. So, I can take it back a little bit in terms of what got me started. I think, and I've always gone back to this store by Honest Ed's. So if you guys remember Honest Ed's, right at Bathurst and Bloor, that big discounted store, being new to Canada, really young at this point, and my first, brand new pair of shoes in Canada. They look like Converse, so they look like Chucks, but they weren't Chucks. They were called Hang 10. They're called Hang
Okay,
10. You
yeah, I
might have
remember
seen
that.
that, Joe. You remember that a
Yeah,
little bit?
it's got like a foot logo. Like the logo's like a foot.
Yeah, you got it, OG.
See,
So yeah,
see.
it's that. It's
Yeah,
that.
I remember that.
It
Hang
was
ten.
that was my first pair, and I was like, yo, this leather, it's
Wow.
high top, and I didn't know what it was, but I just felt that, hey, that covers your foot, your ankle, which I didn't have at the time, right? So, I think we had sandals, right? We had sandals, and we didn't have a lot of money, all of that. But that's what got me started. I was like, I really appreciate it. And then just fast forward to, a few years later, um, I started skating, skateboarding. And at that time, it was Vans, Chucks. Um, it wasn't Jordans just yet at the first year. And I'm just trying to take myself back to that time, that era. So we're talking about late 80s, probably about 86 maybe, just before the ones. Vans were heavy.
Mm-hmm.
Converse, and other skate brands like Airwalks,
Mm,
Vision Streetwear. I think they're all now retroed now in different forms.
mm,
Um, yeah, and then Jordan 1 started coming in, and I think around there it really caught my attention just in terms of design and wearability. So if you recall the Union ones, the
Mm-hmm.
first pair that
mm-hmm.
Chris designed, and he talked about how they used to cut and sew, and there was a lot of taping, and they would try to just save a lot of these pairs of Jordan 1s because
Mm.
that's how much wear and tear there were to these pairs of shoes.
Wow.
And I've seen that amongst friends and other skaters. We did do that. We traded Jordans with Converse Weapons. That was the other pair that we used to wear.
Oh,
Wow.
geez.
Well,
Crazy.
street skating was just coming in. I think that came around 1991, 89 even. It was a lot of vert skating, but even then, the grip tape would still hit your shoe
Mm,
a lot as you were olling, whether you're launching off ramps or just shredding. It would damage all your shoes. So we needed something more protective. And Jordan 1s were
yeah.
coming in because a lot of the popular pro skaters like Tony Hawk, the Bones Brigade, we would
Yeah.
see them wearing it in those videos, right? So naturally,
Uh,
that's what the kids would want. So we were wearing a lot of those. Fast forward from the ones um, to the threes. I always skip the twos, and you know what? I don't hate the twos or anything like that. I just didn't have a lot of love for them personally,
mm,
and we just didn't we didn't skate in those. We didn't
mm,
skate in twos. It was always the ones, the Converse Weapons and Vans and
Mm-hmm.
Airwalks. That's what it was. After skating, I got kind of into, I think, hip hop rap was coming in, some more sports, Fab Five, 91, 92. But even right before that, Jordan, right? Jordan was in, and I'm sorry, and I always apologize because I'm always skip between 86 and 89. So bear with me. In those 3 years, you have one, two, and three, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So to answer your question, Lawrence, it was really the fours that really got me into sneakers. And
Interesting.
Wow.
that's where the addiction started, right? Begging my mother for the black cement, or AKA bread fours,
Mm-hmm.
uh, for my birthday. And they were purchased from Dufferin Mall.
There you go.
Wow.
Foot
Dufferin
That's
Locker.
Mall.
sick.
I believe it was a Foot Locker. It was a Foot Locker. So 89 was a special year because I was also lucky enough to get a pair of Flight 89 highs in
Mm.
white with the black swoosh.
Jeez.
They
Two
never
pairs in
retroed
one
those.
year.
I think
Damn.
it was 1 year. Could have been a year and a half. Extremely lucky, right? Worked hard for it, begged hard for
Mm-hmm.
it. But what I really wanted was the threes, right?
right.
Mm.
All the cool cats were wearing threes back then, downtown Eaton Center.
Mm-hmm.
I
Yeah.
grew up downtown. I grew up in Chinatown, and then I moved to Little Italy at Grayson College.
Mm,
So I was in those hoods, and we skated everywhere. We skated the beaches, right? But we obviously didn't go to the burbs. We didn't go to Scarborough. We didn't go to Mississauga, things like that. At the time, with all due respect,
Mm-hmm.
we were just downtown guys.
yeah.
So, and there, I always say, now we have so much social media. We have reels. We have so much video, right? Back then, it was like you had to be there.
Yeah,
Be out there
facts.
to see what was in style and what was, what was sick, right? And be like,
Yeah.
oh shit, where'd you get those? And that's a whole nother topic. But to answer your question, it was the black cement fours, the white and black Flight 89 highs, and I think after that I got it the Nike Air Trainer SC2s, navy white.
Ooh,
So there was the
nice.
medicine balls, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
And Bo Jackson was rocking them at the time, but I can tell you, streetwear, was coming in heavy, and that's what we
Mm.
were wearing. We were
Mm-hmm.
wearing that. We were wearing, starter caps, and even before starter caps, we were wearing fitted hats too. We were fitted caps as well. So it was like a bounce in between. It was really odd. Those years went by so quickly
Yeah.
for me.
Yeah, just the way you're talking about it, yeah, it makes it sound like it was flying. So you're
Mhm.
saying
No,
that like when you were buying like when you were in ones and stuff, you were buying them more out of necessity because you were just looking for something to skate, and then once it was like threes and fours, you were like, oh shit, like maybe I actually like shoes, kind of thing. It's not necessity. It's like I want to look cool, right?
no, it was both, Lawrence. It was
Mm,
absolutely both because you had, the guys that were good. I think to Alvin's point earlier about playing ball, usually guys that are good, they're gonna show up in like bright
true.
shoes, things like that, right? So it was no different at that time too. You had the best of the best, and all the good guys, and with all the nice decks, they were decked out, man. They had the nice stuff on too, but they were good. They were able to back that up,
Mm.
Interesting.
right?
Ooh.
Gonna
Yeah, the
fast
Jordan.
forward. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead. No,
go
go
ahead.
ahead,
No, I
please.
just
No, go
wanted
ahead.
to add the Union ones back to the Union ones.
Mm,
I just thought the shape isn't, like the OG, of course,
Yeah.
but that storytelling was just right on for me.
resonated with you a
Mm.
lot.
Oh, absolutely, right? Because a lot of people, when they looked at them, like at first glance, they're like, "Hey, what the hell is he doing?
Yeah.
Like, why
Yeah.
would you switch colors like that? It's not a top three, or And I just thought, well, you don't know, you had to be there because they would get
Mm.
so damaged that they would take pairs like a friend's pair and they would tape it up with duct tape, man. Like if you
So
look at
funny.
some portraits of pictures of Lance Mountain and those guys skating, you see it. You see they're wearing
Yeah.
mismatched Jordan ones, right? And a lot of people didn't know
Crazy.
that in the mid 2000s. So
Yeah.
Mm.
that actually happened here. Not a lot of us, but it happened here, right? Because we're so influenced by the states, right?
Yeah.
Always
Yeah.
to this
I
Yeah.
day.
just wanted to add
Yeah.
that. Sorry.
No, I
Mm.
love that. No, I love that a lot. It's a good
Crazy, bro.
little foreshadowing to this next question kind of thing, because I know that you have a trillion pairs of unions, I think. But what is it with you and like this multiples? Is that like always been like a collector's thing for you, where you just like, I don't want to call it hoarding because I feel like that's a bad word. But like whatever the nice version of hoarding is, I think it's called collecting. Where like I know it's changed a lot for you. You've mentioned that you've really transitioned heavily into jerseys, but for a long time before you were posting like jerseys as much, I always knew you as this guy posts like when he gets a pair of shoes, he doesn't get a pair of shoes, he gets 8 pairs of shoes. Like
Mm.
I don't need just one. He's like, I need one to rock, one to stock, one to throw away, one to put in my car, one to put in my office. Like you go off. Is there a reason behind that, or is it just like gotta catch them all? Like I want to have as many as possible, kind of thing.
I think it's all of the above, but also I like to add too that there were some posts I would say for family and friends,
Got it.
right?
Right.
Like those 15 pairs and 20 pairs that I think that was the most I ever had at one point of the same shoe on release day. A lot of those pairs did go to family and friends, to be honest. And then one or two I might trade in for another pair down the road. Um,
Mm.
yeah, but no, definitely there was a hoarding mentality
Yeah,
there
Mm.
at the time. Playfully, it was a flex too.
of course.
Yeah, make no
Oh yeah.
mistake, that's how I
Yeah,
look at IG, right? A lot of it is that, and to me, it's fun.
it's a showcase.
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
people need to understand that it's not reality sometimes, right?
Mm.
Like sometimes it is and sometimes it isn't, right? So depending on which, a category you're in, you can't take people that seriously on IG and
yeah,
judge, a person based on what they have, and if you're doing that, you better wake up, right? Because that's
absolutely,
Mm-hmm.
not what it's about, right?
absolutely. Couldn't agree
Um,
more.
So that's my answer to that question. I've lost a lot of connects over the pandemic. So I'm really that was part of the reason why I also transitioned into just strictly, well, not strictly, I still buy shoes here and there, but mostly Raptors memorabilia, jerseys, and apparel.
Love that. This is like a side. I actually didn't have this written down, but I just reminded myself. Are you still into Supreme like you used to be? Because I know you were also really heavily into Supreme.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people have kind of gotten out of it as they've gotten more and more quote unquote mainstream. But are you still into it the same way or not as much?
I still am. I don't maybe purchase as much as I used to, just because I've gotten busier, and some of that money will go into Raptors memorabilia. Right. So I'm more picky and choosy in terms of what I want to wear from Supreme or what I want to purchase. But yeah, no, I kind of like the fact that it's the hype has gone down, shall we say.
I say the same thing. I say the exact same thing. When you can get two different colors in a box logo on release day, like, why would you ever want to complain about that? Like, yeah, make more. Like, I want to get 4 colors on release day.
Well, exactly that. Exactly. And it's kind of like we weeded out, the hype beast, if you will, in terms of like the hype beast that are just strictly in it for trend.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Right. And that's not knocking them. They can do whatever they want. Right.
Yeah. It's a normal thing to bounce around to whatever's hot. That's nothing against that at all.
Yeah, that's cool too. For me, I like staying loyal to certain brands that make good shit.
Yep.
Right. And their quality's gone down a little bit. I don't know if you guys noticed that.
I feel like it's more spotty than it used to be. It used to be very consistent. I know they were also doing smaller production runs of everything, so it kind of makes sense. Like they could do the made in Canada runs, but they obviously like so many stores, they've expanded online, like they kind of need to produce more stuff. So naturally, I think quality is going to go down, which is unfortunate. But there's still time to time where I buy like the like not a box logo T-shirt or something, like an actual like cut and sew piece, and they're not bad. Still not bad.
Yeah, no, I'm still a fan. I am still a fan, Lawrence.
Love that. Love to hear that. I figured you were. I just wanted to double check because it just popped back into my mind. What kind of got you into jersey collecting? Like, did this come from the love of basketball? Like, we can go back that far if you want, kind of thing. But like, where did that kind of start? And then, kind of similar question: how did it go from like? I'm sure it didn't start with buying Vince Carter's like game used jerseys. How did it go from like? I go into Sport Check and I really like the new Raptors away jersey this year to now I'm looking for this gamer that I can match to TJ Ford's 22nd birthday in Italy kind of thing. Like where did that transition kind of happen? It's like a 2-part question.
I guess I have to take it back to my days of when I was skating downtown, and just a lot of that street style with tank tops. Let's start there. With the tank top style in the summers, and then just catching on to that with basketball jerseys. And my first official basketball jersey was probably the Bulls MJ champion replicas.
There you go.
Right, so that's today's swingman, right?
Yep.
That tier in terms of it was affordable. That was my first one, and I wasn't into game worn yet. But you know what? I think looking back now, and I've always been this way, I love not just uniforms, but I love clothing or items that are exclusive.
And
I don't just mean by supply and demand. I mean exclusive to that, to that company or that brand.
Yep.
You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. So I'll give you an example. Let's say Costco. You're an employee at Costco.
Yeah.
But they only have this one style shirt that's only available to Costco employees. I want that. I want that shit.
Yep. I think we can all relate to that. It's every hobby I feel like is when you get deep enough in it. It's the same thing with sneakers, right? You're like, I want the PE. I want the Oregon University basketball team's shoes. Like, I don't want the Foot Locker shoes. I want the Foot Locker shoes too, but I want the stuff that no one else has even heard of. That's basically the same idea. Yeah.
Exactly. Right. So whether you call that hype being a hype beast or, whatever the case may be, to me, for basketball jerseys, I wanted what the players wore, but that didn't really hit until probably 2001 era. Because after I get the MJ replica jersey, I started thinking, hey, I want something closer to what they're wearing, right?
Mhm.
So more TV, more rewind tapes and play, right? I'm looking at what MJ's wearing, and same with the shoes, right? Except you wanted the shoes to wear, so there's still always a part of me that wants to wear the shit,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
I still want to wear I still wear some of the gamers, but
Yeah.
it really hit me in 1999, 2000. So the Raptors had the Dino jerseys for 4 years, from 95 to 99,
Hmm.
right? And a lot of people didn't like the Dinos. I actually didn't. I wasn't a big fan of the Dinos at first,
At
to
the
be
time,
honest with
Mhm.
you,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were getting picked on.
It
We were
was just
being
so
Yeah.
labeled
different.
as Barney.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Barney.
All
Yeah.
of that. And I was like, man, let's change it up. So at the time, I was like, change it up. And then we got Vince in his rookie year. And he just like shocked us, right? He shocked the world. We didn't think he was that good. We didn't think he was better than Anton Jameson,
Yeah.
right? Um,
Mhm.
so in 99, 2000, they switched it up. They switched it up to the dry fit jerseys, and I loved it. I loved it. I was like, we're finally out of that Barney era. This looks modern. It's more fitted, right? It just, and it's got Toronto and purple. Like it's just sick, right?
Mhm.
And I'm like thinking, well, I don't. And then I look at so they had replica, swingman, and they had authentic.
Yeah.
And and I'm thinking, man, I gotta have the authentic. So to make the long story short, it was at Fairview. I was with my dad. Such a long wait for this authentic style jersey to come out. Super expensive at the time. 1999 is $180 plus tax
That's a lot back
Whoa.
then.
in
That's a
1999.
lot.
That's a lot now.
Yeah.
That's a lot now too.
Yeah.
Right. Well, they're like 260 now, guys.
Yeah, they're not cheap.
Yeah.
Wow.
So a little bit more. But anyway,
Mhm.
so and I just put it on right away, and I was like, man, like the quality on this, awesome. And,
Mhm.
and then I started reading more slam magazines and
Yes.
internet, and I was like, man, I gotta have one that's worn. I gotta have one that's issued. I want the real deal, right? And from there, it trickled on to eBay, and I started buying more. I started learning self-taught,
Yeah.
matching magazines, matching shoes to magazines, seeing what the differences were in the jerseys, the patches, placement, even BB4 shocks. Right, Nike BB4 shocks. There were PE versions, and there was a retail pair.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
And at that
Mm.
time, a lot of us didn't know what the differences were, and
Yeah.
we would freak
Yeah.
out and say, "Why? Why are we? Is it because we're in Canadian? We don't get these colors? Why don't we get these Duke colors?" Right?
Can't Google it at the
Mhm.
time. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
So, anyways, that's where I started getting deeper in the rabbit hole. As I start buying more, I start to learn more. The
Mhm.
differences between replica, swingman, because Nike did start releasing swingmans, so a more affordable version, right?
Mhm.
But different materials.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was authentic, and then I got into whole team issue game worn. I was like, oh my god,
Gee.
I gotta say, for anybody that's starting to do like collect, you won't know until you've actually owned a few.
Mhm.
Or you know people that have a few and they can show you the differences. You actually have to touch them, number one. You have to feel the twill. You have to feel the dry fit, right? You have to look at the stitching, right? The cut, right? The comfort level. Putting it on even. Like some of them are dresses, man. They come down to my ankles, right? Like Oliver Miller, right?
Oh,
So yeah, Oliver Miller is huge, right? He's
Yeah.
Yeah,
huge, and they're
man.
long. They're super long. So you can't even get away with the half tuck in.
Oh no.
Maybe that's something we can talk about later. But how do you wear your jerseys, right? How do you rock them
Yeah.
correctly? Um, but I'm sorry for the long-winded answer there, Lawrence. But
No, of course.
it
Oh
started
no,
with
no,
my
that's dope.
authentic Vince '99. Yeah, Joe too, and Alvin. So I
Mhm.
apologize if the answers are kind of all over the place.
They're
But
supposed
Don't
to be.
even, bro. Don't
They're
even.
supposed to be. That's why they're 7-part questions. This is a 1-part question. I don't even know how much you're allowed to say. Um, gotta fucking ask it anyways.
Yeah.
Kind of skipping a few steps and we'll go back, but it's like the question I kind of feel like I really want to ask. What's the story with Drake? Like I just need
oh,
I
right.
need the whole Again, probably long-winded answer, and I'm gonna get my popcorn because I just need. I'm not even gonna give any more context to give anything away, but I need the story with Drake.
Well, first of all, I'm a size large in the Canada Got Soul basketball shorts. That was never reserved for me, Alvin. I'm sorry, but I had to put you out there.
All good. It's all
I'm
good.
just
It was
kidding.
all me.
I'm just
It's all my
kidding.
We
fault.
got a Denny's milkshake coming your way right now.
No.
Don't worry.
No, that's all good. So yeah, let's talk about Drake. So he just I never sold him a jersey. I think there's some followers who've asked me whether or not I sold him a jersey. So that didn't happen. What happened was it was my Rafer Alston Raptors authentic jersey that I posted, and he had saw that and he commented and he said, "Need." Right?
That's it.
Oh
That's all he says,
man.
That's all
right?
he said.
So he
Yeah.
says that's all he says at the time. He says need, and next thing you know, you got like I don't know, eight other guys come in and say, "Hey, I have that one too. You know, hit me up. I
Mhm.
have that." Like eight of them have it all of a sudden, right within 5 seconds.
Yeah.
And this, and this story really just resonates in terms of like how powerful social media is, right?
Yeah.
So I said,
Crazy.
yeah, it's crazy. And I replied to him. I said, hey, DM me. And I didn't think he would, and he did, like
Oh
almost
Yeah.
instantly.
shit.
So we talked, and I told him, I said this, this is a jersey that's in my personal collection. I wasn't really selling it, but I said maybe we can work something out, right?
Mm.
And then he actually said, he goes, oh, I didn't know you weren't selling it. I thought you were sourcing this stuff to sell. And he had said, it's all good. He says, don't worry about it.
Hmm.
Right. And I'm like, okay. And I'm thinking, what did I just do here? Right.
Turn down a transaction from Drake.
Yeah. And basically, and I
Yeah.
thought, did I, so, but I was just being myself.
Of
I was
course,
just
yeah.
being myself.
Yeah.
Right. And
Mm.
you know what, all the, and I don't, we're not friends, like we're not close friends or anything. And I don't know him like that. And, but
Mm.
based on our conversations, you're right, like super cool dude in terms of, because after that, he would text me here and there and we talk a little bit. And we had a few conversations over maybe a year or two. I haven't heard from him in a little while. And he actually started reposting some of my posts.
Yeah.
So I don't know
remember
if you guys caught wind of
Yep.
that. Like
Mm.
I did a Murakami hoodie with my wife's LV Murakami purse, and I posted on a story, and he actually reposted onto his story, and he did that like with 2 or 3 items, I believe. And I can tell you, every time he did that, my IG would explode.
that. Mhm.
Wow.
Right, the likes come like just you just see the numbers rising, right? Blah, 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 blah. And then the DMs coming crazy.
Mm.
That's when I knew, like, wow, shit, this stuff really works, man. This
Yeah.
IG stuff, right?
Yeah, he might be
And
staying
even
next.
to this day, guys, I still get like, can you look at this music video? Can you
Wow.
look at this mixtape? It's not a lot now, right? Because he
Yeah.
hasn't liked. Anytime he likes a pick of mine, I'll
Yeah.
get more,
Mhm.
right?
Mm.
And then
Easy.
I get these female IG handles, with female names, and and they start DMing me and saying, "Hey, hi," so all kinds of that,
Oh
right?
gosh.
Then there's these weird ones that say, "Hey, how do you know Aubrey?" Right? It's like, what, do you know Aubrey? Right? Like that you got to use his first name,
Yeah, first
right?
name basis.
Yeah, and there's guys that say, "How do you know Drake?" But I thought that was pretty funny. There's a few of them. How do you know Aubrey? I'm like, okay, dude. So I just don't even respond. They're all in my restricted list.
Yeah.
And I'm not on IG as often as I was, but so
Mm.
that's the Drake story, and yeah, very chill. And but I haven't talked to him in a little while, so
Did you? I don't remember 100%. Did you have anything to do with that Del Curry jersey that he wore in the finals?
that's a
Oh
great
yeah.
question. Yeah, maybe a missed opportunity. So we actually didn't talk around that time, but the story behind that is that I don't know who came up with the idea for that great troll, by the
It was
way.
amazing.
Yeah, absolutely amazing. So his team was sent out to find that Curry jersey, And meanwhile, he had one right under his nose, mine, because I had one.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, and I forgot to ask him, but maybe they wanted the away one because mine's is the home version. Because the away one does say Toronto. Maybe he wanted that.
Oh.
Right.
Right.
So
Did he
it
wear
could
a
have been
signed
that.
ones too? Because the one he wore was signed, no?
So the one he got was signed.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that mattered, to be honest. I don't know
Yeah.
for sure. But the story behind that was his team actually seconded a vintage store owner from New York that they had dealt with from, previous transactions. It was their go-to. So he was, his task was to find one. And he couldn't find one. And he actually talked to me later. He's like, "Hey, had I known you had one, I would have told his team." So they finally found one off another collector in New York. And funny story is that they needed it for that game pretty quickly. So
the turnaround was like really quick. I remember he started doing the trolley stuff, and it just like every game was something different. Yeah.
Yeah. So he had that jersey had to be driven down from New York. They drove that down from New York to Toronto just to get him that jersey for the game. So
That's crazy.
So that's what happened there. And here's the kicker here. The owner of that jersey, we actually connected, and I ended up selling him my Curry jersey.
Oh shit! He needed a replacement.
Wow. Yeah, he needed a replacement. So I was like, what, just take mine. I said that was a good story, and to make the long story short, there, so that's what happened.
Imagine being that rich. That you're just like, I'm gonna get it driven here. Someone's gonna drive it here for me. Like,
holy cow!
They paid him well. He didn't want to sell it. Obviously, right? He didn't want to sell it, the owner of that jersey, but I think he had said, given what the situation was.
Yeah, it's hard to say no to that situation, I'm sure. Like, that's a story for your grandkids.
And the amount too. I think
I'm sure it was healthy. Yeah. When our boy Aubrey comes in the DMs, it's good friend of the show, Aubrey Graham.
He is now.
He's by association.
No,
by association.
I'm only kidding, man. I haven't talked to him in a long time. I have not messaged him in a long time.
Oops, I meant to send this to someone else and just send this podcast link. Put them on your close friends or something. Anyway. Moving on from Drake, we could do Drake all day, and we might actually come back to him a little bit in a different way after. But do you have I'm sure this is like picking favorite children. Do you have favorite jerseys in your collection? Like maybe like a top 3-ish that you own, and maybe top 3 that you would like realistically want to get? Like what's on the top 3 owned list and what's on the top 3 want list?
Always with tough questions, guys. Wow, respect.
Hard-hitting journalism on this podcast. That's what we do.
Yeah.
Okay, so currently, Kenny Anderson Dino has to be there.
Wow.
Okay. You guys know the story of Kenny Anderson? You guys know the story, right? With Kenny Anderson, he never showed up.
He never put. Yeah.
So he was part of the Damon Stoudemire trade.
Mm-hmm.
Except, and the trade happened. He never showed up.
Yeah.
So and that was his choice, but he'll say it was about basketball, respectfully, sure. But as Toronto fans, right, we're pretty sensitive, and so having that, and you might ask, well, why would that be your favorite? The guy never showed up, and it's the irony behind it.
That's why it's dope.
Yeah.
And the fact that we won, right? So the symbolism there of how far we've come, how dark, it was a time when nobody wanted to play for us, man.
Yeah.
Let alone that it's a Dino, let alone that it was made for him. Now I have it and I can wear it and kind of say, yo, we won.
Yeah. There can't be that many even made, right? Especially like player issued ones. There can't be more than like a dozen.
That one could be a 1 of 1, maybe 1 or 2. Max.
Yeah.
I know there's a home version out there, everyone. So if you have that, please hit me up.
I'm sure they're listening right this second.
And then tell them what else you got afterwards.
Yeah, what else you got?
Right? Just make sure you don't tell these guys first, but hit me up.
Bid you up.
But so that You're gonna have to trade some Supremes for those, bro.
Hey, I'll do what I have to do.
All right. All right. So that's one. 2 and 3. And this changes every day, everyone.
I can
To all your
imagine.
listeners.
Yeah,
This,
for
yeah,
sure.
so this isn't firm, but today it's going to be that the Kenny Anderson Dino. It's going to be maybe Jeremy Lin game worn
Oh wow,
Raptors.
that's a good one.
Jeremy Lin game
Nice.
worn Raptors just because of his
Wow.
nationality,
Yep.
right? That
Yes,
connection.
yes.
Yeah.
So there's that. And then the third one's a toss-up. I brought that jersey up for a reason for you guys. That's sitting in the back of my screen there on your screen is the Brissett social justice game jersey. And it's the white
Nice.
dino, everyone. It's a white dino. It's from the bubble year.
I was gonna say it's gonna be bubble. Yeah.
Yeah.
The bubble year. So it's very special that way. And they have respect us sewn in the back with his name at the
it's
bottom.
sewn. That's pretty cool. I guess
It's sewn.
it's a gamer.
It's
That
sewn.
makes
Maybe
sense.
I can.
Yeah. Oh
That's
yeah.
really cool. Yeah.
Bruh.
Right.
Damn.
Amazing.
And so let's. I also like it obviously because not to celebrate that time, right? Because it was a dark time too.
Yeah.
Historical from a collector's point of view. The meaning of the message is very important, so I don't want to downplay that. But just a little side to it is to respect us in terms of our franchise.
Facts.
Yeah.
Super
I like that a lot.
facts.
Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so that's it's just a little bit of an added bonus, respectfully, that I want to add to that jersey. And also, it's my favorite dino color.
Yeah.
Right. Lawrence had asked me earlier, purple or white. White dinos are they're unicorns. It's actually harder to find white than purple. I don't know if anybody knows that out there, but from my experience, white dinos are harder to get. So if you ever see one, you keep that one.
And they only retroed that white dino like recently for the 1 year now or 2 years max.
So this white dino is the first time they've retroed.
Yes.
The white version. And this is for the 25th anniversary.
That's what it was. Yeah. They did the purple one like a couple of years before
the
that.
20th,
right?
The 20th anniversary,
20th,
they did purple. And that one was by Adidas.
Yes, it was. Yeah.
That was done pretty well too. That was done well too. And then there's this one done by Nike. Pretty good job too in terms of modern technology. So that's my third favorite for now. And maybe the one beside it that we'll talk about maybe sometime later.
Oh, I'm super down. How would you say, I don't know if this is even a comparable, how does the jersey community compare to the sneaker community in your mind?
Oh, that's a great question, man.
Because I know you've brought up all these other collectors that you've dealt with and all that kind of stuff. So it sounds like it's pretty similar, but how would you kind of compare them?
Right. Oh, you know what, Lauren? I didn't answer the second part of that previous question.
Oh yeah, the top 3 you want. I apologize. Yeah, let's go back to that.
Don't apologize. I apologize. I'm mumbling a bit too long there, but just quickly, I do have a few on my list. So the red earned has escaped me. The red earned jersey that they won in.
Because no one liked that one at first. I didn't like it until they won, and I was like, I need it.
Same here.
Yeah.
Same
no
here,
one liked it.
Dude, like they've never made the authentic version of that. They only made swingmans, and they only made 3,000. And I had this knowledge. Somebody had, given me the heads up, and I still wasn't a big fan at first. So they only made 3,000 swingmans. Today's market price for Kawhi is about $800 to $1,000.
It's insane.
Wow.
For a swingman. It's not game worn, it's not game issued, just for a swingman.
Yep.
Yeah.
So that's the rarity of it. So I like to get a game issued. It doesn't even have to be worn. So I'm missing that piece, right? So any player they actually auctioned one set off on NBA auctions, and I did bid to my credit here, but I lost, and it was on Jody Meeks. Jody Meeks?
Oh wow!
Jody Meeks.
Of all people,
Jody Meeks was approximately 2,500 US.
Oh
my gosh!
Like all due respect to Jody Meeks,
Yeah.
when a bench player commands that price, I wasn't ready. Guys, I just wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
Wow.
So that's one. Two would be, I still need a Huskies blue game worn jersey. I had a chance at Van Vliet's. I lost on that auction.
Those were
man.
Adidas too, right?
That was Adidas. So they had mesh numbers. So Adidas Rev 30s, they had mesh numbers for the game worn, but for Swingman and authentic versions, they had lesser quality. It was just plain twill.
Yeah.
And I guess the third jersey I'd have to say that I'm missing is I probably need another Huskies jersey. I have a Huskies Damon Stoudemire issued, but I like to have a game worn Huskies. Right? So, and again, that list may change tomorrow.
I'm sure. Yeah.
It's
nice.
whichever pops up first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's also, based on availability, especially when you're talking about stuff that's so niche. Like, it's nice. I'm sure it feels nice for you, though, that's like what the list is at now. Like, the list is at these like hyper specific things because you have so much of like what you really want. That's like, I want these very not random, but very specific and very niche things. It's a luxury for sure. To have your want list be like that. Yeah.
First world problems, right? No, I'm super happy to have what I have. Trust me. So, okay. So back to the other question.
Yes. Yeah. So how does the sneaker community kind of compare to the jersey community in your mind?
Well, the jersey community is much smaller, and let's see. So, but in the sneaker community, there's people that collect game worn shoes as well, and strictly PEs, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Like you look at a guy like Dependable J, right? Who does both PEs, and he's a fan of the Jordan line and some Nikes and all that. So, in jersey wise, you have similar but much smaller. So there's guys who collect, gals and guys who collect. They have different tiers. Some will collect player only, some will collect game worn only, some will collect team everything. Like there's collectors out there that collect the Vancouver Grizzlies OG items.
Yeah,
every item.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right, and then there's guys and gals that collect just game worn armbands. I know that's not jerseys, but it's in the same realm.
It's
right?
the same as sneakers, though. There's people who collect random stuff with sneakers too, right? It's exact same. Yeah.
And there's people that collect shorts, just shorts,
shorts.
Yeah, and or authentic swingman. So all the different tier levels, you have a collector, just like you would with sneakers in terms of brands, right? And also different type of sports too.
Yep.
So, but I think my best answer for you, Lawrence, to that question and everybody else is really that it's jersey collector is much smaller. It's more niche, and game worn can get very expensive, just like game worn shoes.
Yeah,
for sure.
You'd think
like
that
we're talking millions now, right? We're talking millions of dollars.
Wow.
We've talked
for the
about
superstars. For the superstars.
Like LeBron's jersey. Oh, tonight probably. Yeah,
that's gonna go crazy
if he gets them 36 points tonight or whatever he needs tonight. Yeah. All right, I do actually. Yeah, I want to talk about the jersey behind you that you've alluded to because that's a nice way to like wrap everything up. But I do have one more question because I do want to talk about the blood game. I keep forgetting what it's called. The blood set. We'll get into the blood set in a second here, but I do have another question because I feel like I've noticed this only more recently, maybe in the last like 5 years, and it's mostly the NBA, I think, trying to get like younger and more relevant. But what are your thoughts on like the changes we've seen kind of in jerseys? Like even just speaking how we've spoken, you've seen in like the early 2000s, it was like home, away, alternate, white and purple, purple and white, and then like something out. Like, you know what I mean? Like it was very simple, very plain. And it was like that kind of across the board. Like, again, no one liked the purple dino because it's like, what the hell is that? Like just put Toronto on the front and like, that's it. And now we're into like home, away, alternate, city edition, earned edition, blah, blah, this edition, that edition, everything. There's like 8 different jerseys a year. You also see like collabs, like we saw like the Legends League collab where he's like completely doing his own thing on that, like all that kind of stuff too. really official stuff like that, I think maybe the last 5 years is where we like really started to see it come to fruition. Like again, OVO edition jerseys, like just some crazy stuff that
Right.
like I'm sure for a guy like you is completely different to what you were accustomed to 20-ish years ago when you were buying again like plain white jerseys with just red lettering and that's all there was to it. What are your kind of thoughts on that? Like, are you down for it? Are you kind of like simmer down on the 9 jerseys per team a year or changing the jersey sometimes every single year as well? Like there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Well, you guys really did your homework with these questions, so I'm pretty impressed, man. Respect to you guys. Respect to you guys. I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad that there's so many different versions. I think it's good for the hobby. Number one, I think it provides more options for everyone, from kids, for all ages, I should say. So I like that. Branding, it certainly helps, but it also helps rep your team. So I can see the team wanting that. I'm not sure why Toronto doesn't have, another alternate.
Yeah.
But I'm okay with it. Is it too much sometimes? Well, it's subjective. It depends on the design. If they're killing it, then great.
Tough to say it's not good if it, yeah.
Yeah, but that's
Yeah.
subjective, right? Like to me, it might not be good, but to the rest of you, it might be, really good. So I'm okay with it, as long as it's not more than 4 or 5
That's fair.
a season, And so I think it is good for the hobby. The more the merrier. I do want it to see it grow, especially here in Toronto and Canada, in terms of, that should become a staple in your wear in the summer here in Toronto, right? And it doesn't always have to be the Raptors, right? Like it just, just basketball in itself. Even back in the day, that was streetwear, and it is still somewhat streetwear now, right? In many parts of the world. So I think it's always been a cool concept. And it's definitely more accepted now than it ever was.
Yes, agreed. 100%. It's getting there. It's just taking longer to grow. It's a little bit more specific than sneakers, so that's super fair.
Well, it's so subjective, right? Because how do you wear it? That's a whole nother conversation we can have another time, but that can go on for a long time. Like, how do you,
agreed?
What is the proper way? Right? Like to you, might
under a hoodie's got to be top tier for me. That's number one for me. Or sorry,
but
over a hoodie.
Over a hoodie, yeah.
But how are you guys doing that in the summer where it's too hot? You can't.
Oh, you're right.
It's facts.
Yeah.
Right.
Man.
Yep.
Right. How's that? So when you have when you're doing a gamer, guys, the length is long. The top's usually, roomy and you can get away with that. If it's baggy on top, it's not a big deal. But when they're long, it looks funny. Especially when you're not wearing shorts.
Yeah.
That's facts.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Right. And baggy's coming back in now, and I get that. So that actually helps in terms of wearing jerseys. But do you tuck in one side? And I can tell you what gamers, guys and gals too, who collect gamers, I like to tuck one side in because I like to show my tag.
Oh, the tag. Yeah. You gotta let them know. Yeah.
Yeah.
You gotta let them know discreetly, but in a way it's there. Right.
Yeah.
And I can tell you, if I see you at a Raptors game and you're wearing a Raptors jersey or any jersey, I'm looking.
100%.
There's not a lot of us, but and hopefully that grows. I'm all for it. But I'm checking you out, man. I'm like, hey, is that game worn? Is that game issued? Is that just an authentic? What's going on there? Right.
Yeah.
Oh, it's a swingman. Right. So
you're just wearing a swingman.
Oh boy, I didn't want to say that.
Covering his patch, like, just a swingman.
I didn't want to do that, but hey, listen.
Oh, it's pressed.
Can we just quickly talk a little bit about that for 1 second?
Yeah, please.
Of course.
So one of my
Let me take off my jersey first.
Yeah.
Oh boy. One of the things I hate to see, and this again is a first world problem, is somebody's a regular. I'm going to be specific here. A season ticket holder who has courtside seats, courtside, first row, okay, and they're wearing fake jerseys.
Not even a swingman. You're saying fake. Like
Fake.
The
not real.
swingman, I might be able to even live with that, but even that bothers me a little bit.
I would
you know.
agree with you. Yeah.
Call
I would
me a
expect
jersey
nothing.
snob, but that's what I'm into, right? So
Yeah.
my thing is, if you got that, if you got enough money to be a regular season ticket holder, you
Yeah.
have the knowledge. You don't. It's not like
Mhm.
you're not educated in it, right? You're a
Yep.
season ticket holder. You know enough that you can buy an authentic or a swingman.
Mm.
Why on earth would you wear a cheap fake jersey? I don't understand
Fake
that.
jerseys.
And I've seen that. I've seen that. I just don't understand it. Right?
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. And honestly, even down to the swing man, like once I got my first authentic, however many years ago it was, I was like, it's tough to buy swingmans now. Just like the fit, the material, the shape. I can't even imagine if you went up to a gamer, but like, yeah, once I went authentic, I was like, I'd rather buy half the amount of jerseys, but be able to get the
There
authentic
you
one
go. It's the
personally.
quality.
Like, yeah,
It's the
it's
quality. But
and
here's the thing.
it comes down to wearing it too, right? Like I feel like I can't wear a swingman like just with no t-shirt underneath because I feel like it's too boxy, it's too thick, it doesn't fit right. But the authentic, like easily, like just the way it like drapes across you, it's like yeah, authentic is love
Here's
it.
the thing. I have to add this too, right? Because I don't want to come off as a pure jersey snob too, because
Mm.
I think it's still great. Swingmans are still great for the casual fan that's not totally into it like I am.
Agreed.
Mm.
Yeah.
So, I have to appreciate that, right? And I still think it's great for the hobby that you are wearing a legit swingman, whether
Mm.
that's Mitchell or Ness, whether that's Nike. That's cool too. I'm not saying that's not cool,
Mm.
right? It's more about the fakes. That's all.
Yeah, no, I'm with you on that. Honestly, I think they should do swingmans. They should do swingman versions in sneakers too. Like I would pay extra for a really good quality Jordan 1 and you can have the swingman version of
Well,
the whatever.
well,
I
here,
know it's like an 85 to like whatever, but like yeah, give me like the takedown of the same
hey,
shoe.
hey, no disrespect, but I call those the Jordan 1 mids.
Oh, that's your
You're not
swing,
wrong.
man.
You're not wrong. Yeah, the swingman of
Right
sneakers.
now, I'm
Yeah.
gonna have all the Jordan 1 mid, freaking people, all the
Yeah.
fans,
All three of them.
So many DMs, bro.
Yeah.
All the
Well, I'm
DMs
gonna
gonna
get a
light
lot
up.
of hate. I'm gonna have a lot of unfollows now,
Yeah.
probably, but
Okay,
that's
you
how
see
I
already.
look at them, right? Like they're casual. It's good to have. You don't care. You wear it for the love.
Yep.
It's
Mhm.
not super hype. It doesn't have to be a high just because it's a high. That's all I'm saying
Mhm.
about the Jordan 1 mids. I'm not hating on them. If that's your thing,
Yep.
that's your thing. It's
Mhm.
comparable to a swingman. Listen,
It's
it's
true.
easier to get, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Easier than
Yeah.
a Jordan 1 high OG.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They're a little bit more available or readily available, right? And they're easy to wear. You don't care what happens to them,
Mhm.
Yeah.
It's a really good comparison, actually. Yeah.
right? And that's no hate. That is
Mm-hmm.
with respect, everyone.
With love
Yeah.
only to the
With
Jordan
love
1
only,
mid.
man.
With all
Yeah,
due love to the Jordan 1 mid.
yeah. Well,
I don't know if it's due love, but all with all due love to the Jordan 1 mid.
new love, old
Yeah.
loves.
There you go.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
There you
Yeah,
go.
yeah,
There you go. Those were mids.
It's true. A
yeah.
lot of those are mid 2000 Jordan 1s were mids. Almost all of them. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep.
All right, let's get into. I think this is a cool way to put a bow on this with the. I know we've alluded to it like 1,000 different times. The blood set. Why don't you take us through? I know you hung it up there behind us, and you told us the story beforehand, but I would love the listeners to hear the story behind the white jersey you have to your whichever side that is for
Oh
you left.
boy. Oh boy. An exclusive for the Canada Got Soul crew
Yeah, we
here.
paid good money for this, everybody. So
That's it. That's
listen
it.
up.
did.
Let's sit down and
They
For
listen
the
up.
did.
two listeners,
Yeah.
you better listen up.
They did. They did. So
Yeah.
so what I have hanging on the wall here is a Vince Carter All-Star jersey. And it's unique because it has the All-Star patches on them. And you can't see it right now, guys. But when you zoom in close, it's actually a sewn patch on the right side. And I haven't shown this to the public yet, but I will, likely for the All-Star weekend that's coming.
Cool.
But it has, two unique patches. It's autographed. It's one of my favorite jerseys. It's known to be his backup jersey for the All-Star game. So this is
Wow.
not the purple one in the slam dunk competition, but it's the one that he wears in game.
Mhm.
It's the backup of that. It's not the actual worn one. I wish
So
I
this is
had that.
99, right? Or is this 2000?
So it would be 2000.
Got it. Yeah.
2000.
Yeah, so
Crazy.
it would be his first All-Star game actually. So they would say 99/2000.
Yeah.
2000, yeah.
Yeah.
And because the All-Star game's in February, that's
2000,
2000,
yeah.
right? So
Wow.
yeah, no, very lucky to acquire that from somebody that knew Vince. So I actually can't say who it is on air. But so it's legitimate. I couldn't match it to the one he wore, so I really tried doing that. Does he wear it? Does he try it on in the locker room? Who knows? It really doesn't matter at this point. But it is his
Yeah, no.
backup here. You rarely see this one, so I have yet to find another one. I could be wrong. There's part of my memory that almost thinks they might have been available at Center Sports, which is Real Sports now, way back in the day. But I don't think so. A lot of my collector friends be like, nope, that's super rare. They've never seen one yet. So that's pretty up there. So that one I actually keep at my bro's house.
Nice.
But yeah, no, that was a nice one. So
yeah, and as Kai mentioned to us earlier, the reason they would have the backup in the locker room, and I guess I'm assuming they would do this for regular games too. They would call it the blood set. It's like the backup, just in case. Obviously, it gets dirty, bloody, ripped, whatever.
Yeah.
So that happens now as well, and
figured, yeah.
So each player should have a backup jersey in case, like Lawrence had said, if they bleed and if they fight, if it rips, things like that nature, they'll have a backup ready to go. So each trip that they're going to in an away game or home game too, there's always two. So there's always two sets of every single jersey.
Wow.
Jeez. That's crazy.
Yeah, some star players will have three.
Wow.
Believe it or not. Some star players have three. And even your bench guys will have two.
Interesting. Wow. I guess, yeah, better safe than sorry. We've seen all the stories of all these people who bring the wrong jerseys or all that kind of stuff. I'm sure they would prefer that didn't happen. So.
No. But sometimes they don't, right? And they don't. Like, I think Jordan's jersey got stolen one time.
Yes, and he had to wear, a number 11 or something
12.
Like that? 12, yeah.
12. Yeah. So they didn't have a backup for that, for that time. But I think maybe
there's
after
another
that.
Grail one for you. That would be a cool one.
Oh, I would love to have that. I don't have a lot of Jordan jerseys anymore. I have a 45 authentic champion, original, my size. So, and then I have the flu game issued.
Oh wow,
the gold logo.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's a nice one, man.
Damn,
nice one. So that was really cool. No, I'm just glad you guys appreciate it, man. Like,
hey, we wouldn't have had you on if we didn't appreciate it. That was. Yeah, I mean, I learned a lot. I'm sure I can speak for Joel and Alvin and all the listeners.
Definitely,
learned a ton. Yeah, I think there's a bunch more stories to tell as well, and I actually have more questions that I just don't think we have time for this week. So we need to have you back.
We never talked about my Louis Vuitton.
We'll schedule another one. Hopefully, it doesn't take another month and a half to get you back. Because there's more questions that I have that I need to get answered.
I'll tell you guys a story about that one after we end.
Okay.
I like that even more.
Thanks for listening.
Yeah. Sucks for all the listeners again.
Well, and also the NFT Air Force Ones too.
Oh yeah, yes. Okay.
Right.
Yeah.
That was a good one too. Anyways, sorry.
Thanks for coming, Kai. Wherever you're taking this episode, everybody, please leave a comment, review, follow, and/or subscribe. Make sure to check out Canada.sold.ca to shop the latest CGS merch. Peep the YouTube for our latest videos, and check out CGS Talk on Facebook to shop it up with us. Do not forget to use hashtag Canada.sold on Instagram for a feature. I have been Lawrence Hopkins, and you can find me at LDoggyStyles on Instagram. Woof.
Hey, I'm Joel Hernandez. You can find me at Joe Dooney. JO_D 3 O's NEY.
My name's Alvin Quincy. You can find me at MISTERQ and then Mart.
And Kai, where can they find you?
So at Sexy Beast S8B. Oh, I'm missing a Y. Sorry, YBEAST. Just one known fact here, or you may not know, Sexy Beast is actually in reference to the dino. Not me. It's not me, Lawrence. I know you're
It's
looking,
not-
but it ain't me,
Oh
bro.
man.
I mean,
Joe, I know you know. It's
I
not
was
me.
it
like,
could
the
be a
name
double
matches,
entendre.
though.
Yeah.
The
What?
name matches.
Alvin,
Matches, though,
you're a
man.
married man. You're a married man, Alvin. But thank you.
If
I'll
the
take the
gamer
compliments
fits,
any
buddy.
day. I'll take the compliments
That's
any day.
it. Yeah. If the gamer fits.
Thank you for listening to the Talk About Sneakers for 221 episodes, and please remember to rock your kicks. This has been True to Size. We've been CGS and the Sexy Beast, and we are out. Peace. All right, give us the juice.